Allyns, do you think it's wrong then for like companies and HR departments trying to scale and be efficient in the interview process versus actually really focusing on the quality? Because the difference is you can get high volume and hopefully because you're trying to be efficient. And of course, everyone's intent at the end of the day, they want the best candidate.
Right.
There's two approaches, right? You could try to use technology and leverage it that way, or being mindful about the biases and taking the time to kind of have a live person to be agile to ask contextual questions to get the true self out there. What do you feel is one better than the other? There are people now listening. Okay, I got to go through 1,000 resumes. How do I do this?
I don't think it's wrong. I do think that it's very smart. It does weed out the additional HR overhead that you would need to kind of go through those resumes. And that's why, you have all these different softwares out there that find keywords in resumes. You have to be intentional in what you do. So is this to save you money or is it to get you the best candidate? Are you going to reject a candidate because they didn't do well in their interview? You are. Could they have been a really great candidate or a really great employee of that company? They could have been. So I think if companies are cost conscious and they want to speed up the screening process, which is essentially what we're speeding up, because I'm sure if you get to the end of the process, you're doing more of those, really in-depth meetings and having them meet other people. If you want to speed up that part of the process, make sure that there's no bias. Make sure that you are not only taking that video and eliminating bias from that one video and how that person performed in the video, but certainly having maybe multifacets. Maybe they submit a paragraph or two that they have, 15 minutes to write or something. Again, people learn in different ways, right? There's your kinesthetic learner, there's your auditory learner, there's your visual learner. People are going to interview different ways. And so we can't expect everybody to be cookie cutters and perform on that one video. So I would say they're not wrong. It's certainly a huge advantage to scale that HR process to eliminate the overhead that's associated with having to go through all those resumes for hours and find the right person. There's something to be said about creating a multi-leveled virtual scale-up HR process. So I would say if you're just going to gather a video, make sure that there's video, make sure that maybe there's a document that's submitted like a resume, and also maybe ask some key questions that they can submit something in writing to, and then evaluate maybe those three things instead of maybe just a video and a resume. Like I said, on the fly thinkers may not always be what you need. You might want somebody who wants to take some time and analyze their answers. I do a lot of work with behavioral analysis. And so currently a big fan of DISC and Taking Flight with DISC from Merrick Rosenberg. And he's very good at really assessing these behaviors. And I'm also PI certified. So I think about those folks who are low Bs, who are very low parrots, right? Like their talkative and social side, it's not easy to draw that out from them. And so if you put somebody on video that doesn't have the time to kind of formulate their socialness, they're not comfortable with a robot, you're not going to get like a really wonderful view of them because they take that time. And I work with a lot of people on thinking on the fly. I do a sort of a performance-based workshop on thinking on the fly. And one thing that I've seen is that a lot of them want, well, what are the questions that you're going to ask me so I can be prepared? Some people brainstorm in private. Some people want to answer things and research and be intuitive in private. Me, I'm the opposite. I could get here and answer questions and I'm comfortable with that. I'm a social person. I think on the fly out loud. And when you put somebody in the position to do that, that's not inherently a talkative, social, on the fly kind of person, someone who likes to think in private before they speak up, they're not going to ace that video unless that's what you're looking for, which I gotta tell you, if you ask a question and you get crickets in response, you're probably not going to choose that person on the video. So multifaceted, scale it, but certainly create a multifaceted way for that person to submit their skill and submit their brain essentially to give you what you need. And then use your technology to weed out that person.